All right, Bill, since the last time we collaborated together on LinkedIn, you've left government. And while people might say you're retired, I don't think that's really true because you're continuing to help transitioning service members. Tell us about your transition briefing.
Sure, Paul, and thank you very much for allowing me to participate here. My transition brief over the years, whether it was while I was in the military or while I was a civilian servant with the Navy and with USDA, I have walked the walk. And so in walking the walk, I started to say, maybe I ought to write these things down and share them. One of the things you just mentioned, I retired from the federal service, retired from the military. When you retire, it doesn't matter. You continue serving. At least that's how I felt about it. So I built this brief to help transitioning service members, veterans, because the brief can handle either one of them. They're really the same. Some of them just go rather quickly if they're a veteran, so I don't have to remind them that, hey, you're only going to get paid once a month. They've been retired for 10 years. They already know that. But the ones getting out don't know that. So my tagline to everything, Paul, is veterans don't know what veterans don't know, and it's not their fault.
What topics are covered by the briefing? What's in it?
Well, I start off with, and I think it's a very important point, and I know you have brought it up, is every state has their own Department of Veterans Services. So everybody just thinks about, oh, big VA. What do I get? Oh, I can get disability from big VA. I get health care from big VA and cemeteries. Those are the three columns within the VA. But some of them don't realize that internal of the state that they are going to retire or separate to have their own Department of Veterans Services. And inside there, they have claims processing people who get paid to do the claim. So they're really up to date with everything. So when I talk to people, I bring them to the state and I tell them, contact them and they will help you with your claim. Mm-hmm. So that's pretty much, I talk benefits, I talk healthcare, and healthcare I really try to push because that's a tough nut to crack, understanding the VA healthcare. I listened to your podcast the other day about how it was taking sometimes 3 weeks like that for somebody to get an appointment. Well, there's ways, I don't want to say around it, but there's ways to take care of that. If you can't get an appointment, there's community care. And then people never even knew what community care was. And then when I talk to some people and I say, hey, do you have VA healthcare? Oh, yeah, I'm 60% disabled. Of course I have VA healthcare. No. That's disability. Yeah. Did you go and register at the VA? I told you I had 60% disability. Yeah. So I tell them, the two of them don't talk to each other. So you have to physically go and register. Now you can do it online or you can fill out the form. I tell people, go to the clinic, bring your DD-214 and your letter from the VA with your disability and register and get yourself a primary care manager. I don't care if you never use it again, but just get registered.
Right. So, Bill, it sounds like there's a lot in this briefing that will really be valuable. How does somebody get this briefing? How do they get it?
Well, there's two ways. One, if you're on LinkedIn and you start talking about the fact that you're transitioning, I hang out on LinkedIn. And you may very well get a message from me and say, who the heck is this guy? And I tell them that I get this free brief individually via Zoom, so it doesn't matter where you are. But if they don't get on LinkedIn and they want to contact me, they can use the email of veteransfirst18@gmail.com. That's veteransfirst18@gmail.com. And I'll respond to that email and we'll set it up. One of the things that I ask is that when we set this up, that your significant other or spouse is present, because sometimes the veteran will only hear what they need to hear. So when I talk about DIC, when I talk about the fact that the VA covers chiropractors, you can't even find a chiropractor while you're on active duty.
Yeah.
So there's a lot there for them.
Okay. Well, that's very generous, Bill. And I'm assuming there's no cost when you do this with them.
Absolutely not. No cost at all.
Thanks, Bill.